Parshas Balak, Tafresh Gimel Amud Beis, in Zohar HaKadosh, Ki Mirosh Tzurim Erenu. It says that from the heads of the rocks I will see him, Shiur v'diokna da'avoy, the image and the likeness of his father, of the fathers, Israshim be Mamash, is engraved, is imprinted there truly. V'ayin od me'inyan ki Mirosh Tzurim. So Tzur is from the language of Tziyura, of a picture or imprint. Look what it says about the concept of from the head of the rocks, the command of Resh Yud Amud Beis, in Parshas Breshis, Daf Chavav Amud Aleph Al Pasuk V'yitzer Chulu Esa Adam Chulu, like it says in the creation of man, it says V'yitzer with two Yuds, that you have the concept of the body and the soul, of Medabur and of Domim connecting together, instead of the animals who were Someach and Chai connecting together. Mirosh, Tzurim, Erenu, look what it says there about the head from the beginning of the tzur, of the image. I will see him. So that's the hint. So this pasuk of Mirosh Tzurim also hints to the beginning of creation, the tzir in the beginning of creation of man. במדבר שמוס רבה Parshas Tezvav, Ki Mirosh Tzurim Erenu, and in Midrash Rabbah it brings that from the head of the rocks I will see him, Elu Ha'avos, that refers to the fathers, like it's like the Zohar brings, Shenamar Shimu Harim Chulu, like it says, listen, mountains, Asriv Hashem, Ki La Hashem and Tzuke Eretz Chulu, that because to Hashem are the ends of the earth, the tzok, or the rocks of the earth, like Tzoketana, the harsh rocks. So again, it's a concept of from Tzurim is like Mitsuke, and the mountains are the fathers. Migvos Elohai Imahos, and from the hills that refers to the mothers. And like it says later in the Zohar. The Isa Parshas Shmos Sham, and it's brought there in Midrash Shmos Gabe Medale Gal Harim, about jumping on the mountains. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One Blessed be He says, Imani Mistakel B'Maseim Shel Reshaim Einani Galin, if I gaze upon the acts of the wicked, they won't be redeemed, La'olam forever, L'mi ani Mistakel, but who will I gaze upon? Lavoseim HaKadoshim Chlu, Ein Sham, to their holy forefathers. So that's the concept of jumping on the mountains, of jumping over their deeds, not looking at the deeds of the wicked, rather jumping and only looking at, so to speak, jumping, skipping over that, and looking at the deeds of the forefathers who are the mountains. And this is truly this idea here of that from the heads of the Tzurim, of I will see them, of the tzir, of the image of the forefathers. I will gaze upon their forefathers, that is, he will gaze, so to speak, in Israel, in their source, from the holy forefathers, Mirosh Tzurim, which are the head of the mountains, the head of the rocks, the engraved, the image of the forefathers. And from the foremothers, the hills, I will see them as well. I will gaze on the foremothers, from Ashurenu is like Arenu. Vine Lamaila Ziran Pindat Silus Nikra Israel Delayla Al Shem Ki Sarisim Elokim Chulu. Now above, Ziran Pinavatzilus is called Israel above because he ruled over the Elokim. So that's Israel Vayin Bezor Chelik Aleph, Tav Kuf Ayin Daled, V'hu Nolad V'nimshach Mechachma Bina, and Yisrael Zah of Atzilus comes from Chachma Bina, Shehem Abba Ve'ima, which are the mother and the father. Alzen Nemar Gam Ken Ki Mirosh Tzurim Erenu, and that's also what it means that from the head of the rocks I will see him. Dahinu Sipur Shavach Mailas Haziranpin. That it's talking about the story of the praises of the greatness of Ziranpin, that its source is very high from the heads of the rocks, meaning Chochmah Bina. Erenu, I will see him, meaning I will see his source. In the Rosh Tzurim, which here in this context refers to Chochmah Bina, is high source. Vahinu Ohr Abba, the Atzilos, that refers to the light of the father of Chochmah, of Atzilus, Kamoshikosov, of Mikdash Melech, in accordance with the parish of the Mikdash Melech on this statement in the Zohar. Veshamu Reshis Hisavus Amidos, and there you have the beginning of the formation of the emotional attributes of Zah. And then you have the state of being, so to speak, impregnated in the mother, the emotional attributes of Zah as they are rooted in and sourced in Ima, as the Chesed V'Tiferes is, so to speak, tucked into the Netzach Yisod. You have a revelation of the chitzonis, of the emotions as they exist within Bina. And on this it says, I will see them from the mothers, meaning from Bina. So Rosh Tzurim is Chochmah, the head, the beginning is wisdom, that's the mountain, and the hills, that refers to the mothers. I will see them Shebechinas Agvos and Bechinas Mekablim, that the hills are receivers, Bechinas Tzurim Ve'haharim Chulu, they, so to speak, are receptacles for the mountains and the high rocks and so forth. Ma'inu Bechinas Bina, and that's the concept of Bina Shemekabelas Me'or Abba, that receives from the light of Abba, of Chochmah. Because wisdom is called not, and understanding is called existence. So you have something to nothing. Chochmah Bina. Because the flow of wisdom comes like the lightning bolt, from above to below, just like a point alone. It's called the drop of the Father. And afterwards in Bina it spreads out to length and width, like that's the expansiveness of that which is grasped, like the child that as it forms and grows and spreads out inside the womb. It's grasping the contemplation as is known, an explanation of the river that comes out of Eden and so forth, which is the concept of the river as it spreads out from the Mayan of Chochmah, from the spring of Chochmah. The river that spreads out of understanding is the river Nimtza Habina Hi Mikabel Mea Chochmah. So it's found then that Bina, the mother, receives from Chochmah, the father, or the hills that receive from the mountains. Now, allegorically, with when you have a seminal drop, Shebevadai called Shiur Ivari Havlaj Asid Litztair B'Mehaim, that's certainly the entire image of the limbs of the child that are going to be formed b'mei in the womb of the mother, after it waits 9 months in the womb. All of them are included in potential. They're there in this drop. Just like in the seed of an apple, you have the entire image of the apple tree, or of the apple. So like it's brought in the Mamar, Yaakov, and you're planting Yaakov, Yatzizu Farach Yisrael, and you're growing Yisrael, like we're talking about here, the source of Yisrael. In Chochmah Bina, but in the drop are included all of the limbs from head to foot, and spiritually and ethereally, in a very hidden state, very much, only the spiritual ability, potential for each limb, as it grows afterwards in the womb. And also, they're included in a hidden state, completely not recognizable there, and not recognized as any existence at all, as they are in that drop. But afterwards, when the child is formed inside of the womb, called Tes Chodashim, all of the 9 months, it gets recognized there as an existence and an entity for itself. Al kol panim, at least, afal pi shegam sham havlad behelam bebeten, even though the child, the fetus is still hidden inside the womb, ki ubar yerech imohu, because the halacha is that the child is a part and parcel of the mother, not considered a separate entity, and only eats what the mother eats, and so forth. But it's still incomparable to the hidden state as it was in a just a drop. That included in it only the potential and the spiritual state of the child, of the fetus. And similarly, you can understand the birth of emotions from the drop of the fundamental foundation of Yesod of the father, of wisdom, which is the child of wisdom, is the emotion. As it is in a hidden state inside the wisdom, so as they are in Chachma, they're in a very hidden state, built in Nirgashin Klal, and they're not felt there at all to any existence, which is not the case as it exists in Bina, in the mother, so to speak. They're much more felt. It's much more recognized. Only the emotions are in a hidden state, included in intellect, like a fetus in the womb of the mother. And that's the concept of tfuna, which is the son and the daughter, as they are included and exist within Bina. Look what's brought about this, an explanation of these are the journeys concerning the pasuk, that the fool does not desire tfuna, does not desire the emotions to be born from the intellect, rather unrefined emotions. And as is clearly seen, that you have an arousal of emotions of love and fear also in the mind of Bina, and they're called intellectual love and fear and love. And look what's wrote about this in the Mamar about on each honor. You have an encompassing light. You have kavod ilan, kavod tata. The kavod is the lamed business sivos of chachma and so forth. That which comes from the chachma, you have the encompassing concepts on it. That which surrounds it in its source as a makif. Aksheinin murgashim kemu amidos should be skalus libo. but they're not felt as they are in Bina, in the same way as they are when they are revealed in the heart. But the emotions of love and fear, as they are in wisdom and chachma, that wisdom is a chachma is higher than grasping. They're still in a very ethereal and spiritual state, like the drop. As the child exists in the drop, Erenu. And that's why you have a difference in the language of seeing and in between the Tzurim and the Gvos. Arenu and Ashurenu is more evident. Kivin dehava b'me'ad ima, I will gaze at them from the hills, because they're in the womb of the mother. Ashurenu, what does it mean? Ashurenu, I will see them. Oshit psialabar, that's I will step a step outside. I will stretch forth a step outside. Oshit psialabar. That in the mother, in Bina, there you have the emotions, Begilu Iksas, in a slightly revealed Ad Deoshit Psilabar, to the point where it stretches out a foot outside. Perhaps it's like the kicking in the mother's womb. You can see the imprint of the foot. And that's the concept of the left leg of the hay, so to speak, outside. It's not attached. It's a certain disconnection, a certain revelation from its source in its hidden source. So it's like the child in the womb of the mother, that it's like a little vav, which corresponds with these 6 emotional attributes. It's just like a small vav. It's as they are in a pregnant state in the womb of the mother of Bina, Nikra Hey, which is called Hey, Tlasko, which as the 3 emotions are included in the other 3, so it's a smaller vav, because I guess it's not a full 6. V'yuvin gam kein al pi mashakos b'makom acher. Al pi Mamar Parshas Bamidbar daf kuf kaf amar aleph mizrach diskasher b'tzafon. Look what's brought in Zohar Bamidbar, where it talks about how the east is tied to the north. So the east is like Malchus that's tied to the Tzafon, the Gvura. Like it says, your hidden will fill their stomachs, meaning their stomachs will be filled with children, but Tzafon can also be from the language of Tzafon of the north. And therefore northeast, Elaine Abba v'imachulu, that refers to the mother and the father. So you have Mizrach and Safon together, as they are above, and you have as they are in Sfun Chatamali Vietnam, as they are as a potential. So that's the mother and the father. Perish Mizrach Nikra Chachma, that in this context the east is Chachma Shmishame Korazricha, that from there is the source of shining. So Mizrach Lizroach, to shine, like the sun that rises in the east. That's where it shines from. That's Mizrach. So that's Chachma that shines from the beginning. That's the first revelation. Shela Or, Hazricha Shela Or. Mizrach is the Skasher B'Tzafon, and the north that is connected to the east that's connected to the north. Zeu Yichud Abba V'Ima, that's the union of the mother and the father. Ki Abba Huseichel Anelam Lamayla Me'asaga, because Abba, the father of Chachma, is hidden wisdom beyond grasping. V'lo Nikir Bo Amidos Klal, and you can't recognize the emotions in that state at all. Of Albina Hu Hasaga, But Bina is grasping Begiloi in a revealed state, Vuhu Mikor Lamidos, and is a source for the emotions, Shabayim and Noldim, Begiloi Alidei Hasagavais Bananus, that come and are born into a revealed state through grasping and contemplation. Shalidizeh Nolad Avav Yira, that through this is born love and fear. Vihine Achar Shinishavu Amidus Nikra Leida Begiloi, now after the emotions are born, it's called a birth in a revealed state. But when they are in contemplation in the mind, in his mind, but when they are still in contemplation in the intellect, and they haven't come into a revealed state in the heart, because they're still in a pregnant state in the womb of the mother. Vain Mizeh B'Tanya, Perek Tezayin, and look in Tanya, chapter 16. Al Ken Nikra Bina Tzafon, therefore the or Tzafon, it's called the Bina is called the north, or the hidden. Shamidu Sem Tzfunim Sham, because the emotions are hidden there. Kamo Davar Hamunach B'Teva V'Sagwar Shamchulu, like an object placed in a chest and closed there. That's what it means, that your hidden will fill their wombs or their stomachs. Or with wisdom you cannot say shehem bebechinas ibur, that they are in a state of pregnancy, because pregnancy is you already have the thing as is, only that it's closed and hidden and included in its source as, in grasping. You grasp it, but you don't feel it emotionally. That's the pregnancy. But as they are in wisdom of Chachma, they're beyond grasping, only rather in a state of nullification. And like the concept that's brought in Tanya, that the emotions are drawn from Bina and Das, that's called the external part of the heart. Upnimi Salev, he bechinas ha'aras chesed elyon shelamayla meha bina v'das. And the inner part of the heart, the bechinas ha'aras chesed elyon, it's a concept of relation of chesed, supernal kindness, shelamayla meha bina, that's higher than wisdom, v'das, I guess like chachma. And in it, in the supernal kindness, is enclosed and hidden the light of Hashem truly. It says that Havaya is in wisdom, so I guess in Sinach Kava Chesed. So that supernal kindness, I guess, also rooted in the Arich Anpin of Chesed of Arich. The Trains Ros. That is to say, the Chesed Elyon is referring to the emotions as they are in Chachma, that's a love that's beyond Binan. And when you draw that higher level into the heart, that's the inner part of the heart, as opposed to the Bina, as it first is revealed, it's only Chitzonis. But just like Chachma is the hidden wisdom, so too as it is in the heart, it's the hidden part, it's the Pnimius. And this is also the root of the hidden love in the soul. That's the concept of the love and fear of the wisdom in the soul of Chachma. So the hidden love is that love that comes from Chachma of the soul, gets brought there, that it's beyond Hasaga, the giving up your life for Hashem. Mosrim nafsham alarov. Because of this ava mesuteres, vayin mashakazu b'dibur hamaskil rei anochi nosein be'inyan maskil eitan. Look what's brought in the Mamar and Re'eh. Look that I place in front of you about the strength, or the maskil, which is intellect of chachma, to the eitan, to the strength of the soul, nukuda be'echalei, which is the point inside its palace, the chachma inside the bina, the hidden, that which is hidden within the bina. Mirosh, Tzurim, and that's the concept of from the head of the mountains and the hills, the chachma bina, the root of Yisrael in chachma and bina, the root of the emotions as they exist from chachma and bina. Now this greatness, this praise of Zab and and this, that its source is from the mother and father of Chachma and Bina can be understood what's brought in the Mamar about the blessing, the Zimun, in the Siddur, with the concept of the wine that's guarded in its grapes from the 6 days of creation, that the emotions as they are included within intellect, Nikra Eitz HaChaim, that's called the tree of life. So we're talking here about the idea of the wine that's hidden in the grapes, just like the intellect, the emotions as they're hidden in the intellect, like the Eitz Hadas, Eitz HaChaim, which would be the concept of the wine, a vineyard might be the Eitz HaChaim, I guess. Which is not the case in the revelation of the emotions that begins the tree of knowledge. I guess I should say idea of sachat lo, that with the sin of the tree was squeezing the grapes. So perhaps the Eitz HaChaim and the Eitz Hadas are the same tree, that you have the grapes, and then you have as Eitz HaChaim, like it's, and then you have this, you squeeze them into wine, and that's Eitz Hadas, because it implies the Yain HaMeshumar is the Eitz HaChaim, and there's an opinion that the Eitz Hadas is the grapevine, is the wine, so perhaps it's connected somehow. Those two opinions, as that they're perhaps both the same, although I haven't seen that. But we want to understand how those two opinions would fit together. Also, it's explained in the Mamar that these are the commandments, those who are appointed over the Mishkan, concerning the greatness of the negative commandments, that are dependent upon the Yud Kei of Hashem's name Esein Shitloin Bevav Kechulu Ein Sham, that are dependent and as opposed to the positive commandments that are dependent upon the Vav Kei of Hashem's name. So it's also a concept of the Chochmah Bina, the negative commandments, it's as opposed to the positive commandments, the Vav Kei, the emotions as they are in comparison to the intellect, or as the concept of the hidden state as opposed to the revealed state, like we're talking about here. Like we said, the difference between Yain HaMeshumar and the Mumidos as they are Biskalos, difference between Eitz HaChaim and Eitz Hadas. So this is we're all talking about the Shevach of Zah and its Shoresh and Ava. Parshas Bereishis Taf Lamed Aleph Suf Amud Aleph Kabeshis Yomi Bereishis Chulu. Look what it's brought in Zohar Bereishis. When it talks about the 6 days of recreation, it refers to the cedars of Lebanon that you've planted. So it's a concept of emotions that grow strongly. These giant, I guess, are the Levanon, or are the emotions as they are in the Shoresh of Aricha. I've seen. And in Mekdash Melech there it explains that you have the Vav Ksavos de Ze'er, the 6 sides of Zeranpin, Shietzeo Ma'aba, that come from Abba, Shemishamos Chalas Smichasan, that from there is their beginning of their growth. V'hayusham Kekani Chagavim Kenoda Ad Kan Lashono, and they were there in Chokmah as like the spring starts, like the antennae of locusts and the like. So the Arze Levanon are the Lev Nun. You have the concept of the Lamed Beis and Sivos, and the Nun Shari Bina, and the Arazim are the emotions, the strong emotions that come from Chochmah and Bina, this Shoresh of the emotions from Lev Nun. It's the beginning of the Tzmicha of the emotions, just like the beginning of the river from the Mayan, Kikarne Chagavim. Visham Daf Kaftes Amar Aleph Gabi Vafik Arzin Chulu. Look over there in Zohar where it talks about that it brings forth cedars. Vayin Mashikasuv V'di Baramaskal Ki Biyom Azay Chaper Gabi Nikras Atzur. Look what's brought about the idea of, and this day will atone for you, how Moshe was placed in the rock, the cleft of the rock. The Tzur, like we said here, is Chochmah. Nikras, or the hole in the rock, like the fire that we bring out from the flintstone, that in the rock is only the ability, the potential for fire. It's in a hidden state. It's not like a coal where the flame is revealed there but hidden. Rather, it's the flame is within the flintstone but not revealed at all. Just like the difference between the drop and the fetus in the womb. And this is an allegory for the source of these creations, of the source of creations. And Sham, look over there. In that Mamar, similarly, we can say here, in creation of emotions from wisdom, Mirosh, Tzurim, and that's why it says that from the head of the Tzurim, the head of the flintstones. That's Tzurach Halamish, from the head of the rocks, refers to Chachma, because Tzur of Chachma, of the rock, refers to the flintstone, where it exists in a potential state, and not in a revealed but hidden state. And look what's brought in Pardes, the gate of existence, where it talks about how, according to these things, similar to these things you had in the Spheros, and from that ethereal existence, graded these levels and so forth. Look over there. Also, Tzur is from a language of rock, of a very strong. Look like the idea of the intellect, or the success, a strong success, or intellect that's strong, like Eitan is like the strong rock. So maskil, the intellect of Chochmah, which corresponds with Seichel, as opposed to Hasaga. So that's Chochmah, as it exists in the hidden potential state, like the Tzorach Halamish. This is also the praise to the souls of Israel that are rooted in this head of the rocks, because from there is the root of the hidden love, that's beyond intellect. It comes from the Chochmah in the Nefesh, the hidden potential of emotions as it exists in Chochmah, beyond the Chitzonius Seichel, which is rooted these Chitzonius Hamidos as rooted in Bina. Which is a very high, strong source in Chachma, like it says, that you are a stiff-necked nation, and I'll forgive you, because it comes from this kashius, this strength and hardness of the flintstone of the Rosh Tzurim, of the rock Tzok Eitan, maskila eitan, of this level of chokhmah, that self-sacrifice for Hashem, and therefore I'll forgive you because you have this hidden love, and you'll go beyond yourself, beyond seichel. Vigam umigvos ashurenu, and also from the hills I will see you. Ki tzarich lios nekudazu behechale dafka, because this point of chokhmah has to be in its palace specifically. Ubechinas habina, it's the concept of bina v'adas begedula savaya, and knowledge as well, and the greatness of Hashem, the contemplation to all its breadth and width, in order for the emotion to be born and come out. Like it's brought the Mamar. Look, I give for you today. Ketzer Mirosh Tzurim Bechinas Abba. So you have the idea of the head of the rocks, which is Abba Sham Shor Shazeran Bin. There is rooted Zah, Nishamas Yisrael, and the souls of Israel. Shin Yud Beis Kekarnich Chagavim Chulu. Like as it starts from the Mayan, from the spring of Chochmah, like antennae of the locusts, Misham Shoresh Ha'ava Misoteres, and from that level is the source of the hidden love, Bechina Chazaka, the concept of something strong, V'achakach Migvos, and then from the mountains, Bina, Nekuda Behechale, which is understanding, then you have the Chochmah within its palace of Bina. V'kalzehu Bechinas Eitz HaChaim, and all this is the concept of the tree of life, beyond the Eitz HaDas, Tovera, as it is beyond the emotions giving a unique, it's all there in a state of life.